Hello, I'm your host Jason Byrne and welcome to On The Beat, your regular hit of music news and reviews. Now we start the day with the headlines. 30 Pretty Things announce final gig, Oasis break box office records, and the Beatles branch into the board game market. 30 Pretty Things announced their final gig will be headlining a fundraiser. The former Libertine Carl Barrett's most recent outfit will headline the Jail Guitars Door gig. The gig will be held at their Hackney Round Chapel in London on December the 11th. Now the Enemy frontman Tom Clark, Reverend the Makers main man John McClure and the Archie Bronson outfit are also due to feature in the one-night extravaganza. Oasis' 2009 stadium tour broke all box office records when it went on sale last week, selling a staggering 500,000 tickets by 3 p.m. The organisers were forced to put on additional nights on the schedule in both London and Manchester, after the band's two-night runs at London's Wembley Stadium and Manchester's Hilton Park sold out in hours. Additionally, their first ever trip to Sunderland's City of Light Stadium has sold out, along with Murrayfield Stadium in Edinburgh. Now, Oasis co-promoter Chris York of SJM Records said, "This has to be the most tickets ever sold by an artist in the UK in one day." And finally, Monopoly has become Beatopoly. There is now a Beatles Monopoly game. But don't expect to get rich on a few rounds of this game though. You don't need money, all you need is love. As you go around the board, you are rewarded with love, not money. And from the love you make, you can purchase Beatles albums instead of real estate. The albums start out from the earliest release and increase in love value as you go around the board. All I want to say, people, is peace and love, peace and love. And now it's time for our competition
band members
question,
are there in the Kings
where you can
of
win
Leon?
lots of prizes.
23, B 4, C 2.3 or D 1. To enter, text OTB plus your answer to 88855 or enter for free at www.onthebeattv.co.uk.
And now we have Vicki Roberts from PR1 to talk about what is hot and not in the music world. Welcome, Vicki.
Hi, nice to be here.
So now, working for PR1, you obviously have an inside knowledge of the music industry. So what have you brought in for us today?
Well, I brought in my selection of hot or nots, what's going down in the music business this week.
Fantastic. So what is number one on the hot list this week, Vicki?
Number one on the hot list, we have Block Party's brand new album, Intimacy.
Fantastic.
Just been released, absolutely brilliant, totally different from their actual stuff, Silent Alarm was my favourite album, but I think this one has replaced it,
Brilliant. So that's one to certainly look out for Block Party fans, is a new release, Intimacy. Now what we'll do is stick this on our new hot or not wall. Very first entry on the hot side this week is Block Party's Intimacy. Okay, Vicki, what is number two on the hot list this week?
Okay, number two on the hot list, we have my favourite TV show, T4's Mobile Act Unsigned. Absolutely brilliant for finding new bands, new music. I highly recommend it.
Fantastic. So if you're an Unsigned act, get your entry into T4 for their new show starting this week. Second entry on our hot wall this week, T4's new music show. Okay, Vicki, that's enough of what is hot. What is not hot in the music business this week?
Okay, what we've got going down is gig tickets.
Ticket prices.
Yeah, really bad ticket prices at the moment. Credit crunch going on. Students can't really afford a lot. I think definitely music producers should, think of something for
Definitely.
that.
So promoters, if you want more people at your gigs, lower your prices. Ticket prices are the first entry on our not wall this week. And lastly, Vicki, what is the final entry on the not list this week?
Okay, last but not least, we have Chris Martin retiring from Coldplay.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I know. I think a lot of Coldplay fans will be severely disappointed about this, but the guy has said, I want to get out while I'm still on top, which you've got to, think is good. But then again, a lot of disappointment, I think.
Okay, so that is bad news for Coldplay fans. Chris Martin leaving Coldplay, our final entry on the not wall this week. And now for a little game. I'm going to read out a list of rumours, and our guest has to tell us if they are true or a dirty rumour. So, Vicki, our first rumour this week is that apparently former Guns N' Roses guitarist Slash is having an identity crisis after losing half of his famous hair.
Right.
Now, the rumour suggests that one of his children caused the hair loss with household chemicals. So is that true or false?
Right. Well, I can imagine Slash's kids being little horrors, actually, but I'm going to say identity crisis. No, I think that's false.
That's correct. That is false, Vicki. I can't imagine Slash being bald, so that one is false. So rumour number two is that apparently Led Zeppelin are to tour under a false name without their lead singer Robert Plant.
Right, actually, no, I can imagine that being true because My Chemical Romance have done something similar,
It is,
so
isn't it?
I'm going to say yes.
Yes, that is true. So look out for Led Zeppelin touring in the new year under a new name. And rumour number 3 is that apparently Vanilla Ice is making a comeback with album of covers just in time for
Right.
Christmas. True or false, Vicky?
Oh God, not a big fan of Vanilla Ice, but I'm gonna have to say I think he would do something like that. So true.
That is true. So look out for Vanilla Ice's new album in your Christmas stocking this week. So on that note, I want to say thanks to our guest, Vicky.
Thank you.
I've been Jason Byrne, and so we'll be back next week with more news, reviews and interviews to keep you on the beat. Good night.